Hi, and Tess here. I thought I'd really just quickly come to you with a little bit of information, education, clarification, I guess. I've been getting some questions and comments with regards to the lifelong vitality complex, specifically people who've been diagnosed or tested with an MTHFR gene mutation. I think there's a bit of misinformation around it as well, specifically with regards to supplementation. So I thought I'd just clarify that with you and also just tell you, give you my 2 cents worth on where I think or how I think the lifelong vitality complex will support in this regard. So, excuse me, I've done a lot of talking today. So just so that you know, MTHFR stands for methylene tetrahydrofolate reductase. Now that is the name of both the gene and the enzyme that it produces. So the function of this enzyme is to change folate in your body into methylfolate. And of course, that's for having a whole lot of wonderful health effects in your body, okay? So I won't get into that now. So folate into methylfolate. Now, if the gene is defective, and you can be either homozygous or heterozygous for the MTHFR gene mutation, which means, you get one from mum and one from dad. If both of them are defective, then you have a homozygous gene mutation. If one of them's defective, then you have a heterozygous gene mutation. So the problem comes in for the gene mutation is that the enzyme then cannot convert folate into methylfolate effectively. If you're homozygous, maybe it goes down to about 40% effectiveness in this conversion process, but you're still converting 40%. And for heterozygous, it's 70%, okay? Around about 70% conversion rate. So whether you're homozygous or heterozygous, it might mean that you might need some supplementation in the form of methylfolate, because that was the, what is not being produced. So you might want to supplement methylfolate, and again, the amounts of supplement that you take, the dose, will be dependent on whether you're homo or heterozygous and your signs and symptoms, and there's many layers to this. And you're also going to supplement with some methylated B12, okay, in the form of methylcobalamin. So let's quickly just see where the lifelong vitality, how that fits in. So first of all, the problem comes in with that conversion process of folic acid in its synthetic form. So if you're going to supplement and you're going to take it in a synthetic form, folic acid, you're going to run into some troubles, because that's not happening. And it can actually aggravate the signs and symptoms that someone with this MTHFR gene mutation is already experiencing, okay? And they've got problems with methylation, so detoxification pathway. So where was I? Yeah, you don't want to take synthetic folic acid. That's just a no-no, okay? And this is where I think some people have, got it a little bit misconstrued, or the misinformation is that you can only ever supplement with methylated forms of folate and B12. That is definitely the best for you, okay? It is the best for you to do it that way. Lifelong Vitality actually contains folinic acid. So folinic acid is an active form. It's not synthetic. There is still a conversion required, but it's not the synthetic harmful form that you that might be in some supplements. Okay, so it's folinic acid. And also the second part of that is that, hey, you know what? It's actually not in therapeutic dose at all. So it's very well balanced, and as we always say with Lifelong Vitality, everything is very beautiful and synergistically done in low dose. There's no high doses of anything in there. Okay, so folinic acid, low dose. And also just on that dosage with the B12 and the B vitamins, they are in micrograms, okay? They are in such low dose. So the Lifelong Vitality has 2.5 micrograms of cyanocobalamin in there, which is a form of B12. It's not a methylated form. That will be methylcobalamin. But you would need 800 to 1,000, sometimes even more micrograms of B12 supplementation in most cases of MTHFR gene situations and gene mutations. So, we're talking about 1,000 versus in Lifelong Vitality is 2.5 micrograms. It's negligible. Okay, I hope that sort of gives you a little bit of information on that. I'm happy to have a chat about it, but from where I stand and from what I see is that the Lifelong Vitality is a beautiful trio that will cause absolutely no problems for people who have tested hetero or homozygous for the MTHFR gene mutation. And the other part of Lifelong Vitality is that it actually supports your liver health, and it supports your detoxification pathways as a whole. Is really, really good for you. It really does support detoxification in the system. So I hope you feel more informed. I'm happy to have comments and hear what you've got to say about it. Of course, I can't diagnose, I can't do any of those sorts of things, but this is my 2 cents worth. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks. Bye.